Get ready with me to become an influencer. And the first step is to film myself while I'm alone. So, why do I want to become an influencer? You might be asking. And well, it's for a couple of reasons. Probably for a couple of reasons that most people want to become influencers. First of all, I want free stuff. I think that sounds pretty cool. Second of all, I think making my hobbies my job is good for me because I tend to spend the entirety of my time doing my hobbies. And so maybe if I make it my job, I'll do other things with my free time, like clean or socialize with my friends. That would be nice. As influencers do, I'm going to show off my products. So, this is my Murad sunscreen. It's really old and probably does not actually protect me from the sun. I also think that it might be breaking me out, but I'm almost done with it, so might as well just try to use it up while I can, you know. It smells good still, so that's usually my test. Next product, I'm gonna go in with my primer. I have my Tatcha silk canvas. I don't know if I'm holding this up right, and I can't see anything. This is my Tatcha silk primer. As you can see, I'm a good chunk into it. I paid extra for this in my Ipsy. That's where I get most of my makeup, is from Ipsy. I'm not gonna lie. I like Ipsy because I don't like to make choices. It also like regulates how much makeup I get, which is good for me. Frankly, I view Ipsy as just an accommodation to my ADHD. So I like this primer. It's pretty nice. It's definitely like, it's like its name. It's like silk. I'm glad I didn't pay the full price of it. When I say I meant I paid extra for it, I wanted it in my Ipsy bag and I didn't get it. So I paid it, I got it as an add-on, which I never do. I paid like $21 for it, but you know what? I've had it for like 2 years, so I've gotten my money's worth out of it. All right. So, next step is my foundation. This is my Yensa foundation. Honestly, it makes me pretty orange. But I work with middle schoolers. They're gonna make fun of me regardless, so why not be a little orange sometimes? I usually just put it all over my face like this. And then I take my nasty brush right here. It's nasty. I haven't washed it in probably a year, and I pound my face with it. Gotta make sure to get your neck because it's a little orange. That would be embarrassing. All right, foundation. Now I put on my concealer, and I kind of use two different concealers, but one of them, I don't really know what it is. I use my Tarte Creaseless Concealer. It's okay. It's kind of thick. So it's not like my favorite. Surprisingly, this isn't that old. Unlike most of my makeup. And I usually like to just put that on my bags because I have pretty bad bags. I don't know if it's because I don't really fully wash off my mascara, but that might be part of it. And I also like to go in with So it's this Fenty Beauty. It's called a Bright Fix. It's an eye brightener. And it like doesn't actually like conceal anything or like really do anything. And so I don't really know what to do with it. So I decided that I just kind of like pseudo contour my nose and forehead like that.
I don't really know how to contour.
But I know how to put on concealer. So now I need to find my sponge. I use 2 sponges, which also I haven't cleaned in a year. They're both disgusting.
Disgusting.
One I use for bronzer. One I use for bronzer. One I use for concealer. My mirror has a light and it scares me every time. And so I'm gonna use that sponge to blend it. Now I know what you're thinking. Why does she sound like a child?
A child.
And girl, I don't know why I sound like a child. I used to work in childcare. And for a long time, I was like, why won't these kids listen to me? I'm telling them to like line up or something like that. And it's like they look at me like I don't exist. I don't exist. I don't exist. And it would drive me crazy. And then I recorded my voice and I heard what I sounded like and I'm like, oh my God, they just think I'm an 8-year-old trying to tell them what to do. Like, I can't blame them for that. Okay, so my next step's gonna be my bronzer. I have an ABH cream bronzer. I have to say, this is massive. Like, I use this almost every day. Listen, I'm all for getting like your money's worth. But part of the fun of makeup, in my opinion, is like getting like different types of makeup, right? And so I don't look really weird because I was trying to talk or putting my bronzer on. So part of the fun with makeup, I think, is like getting to mix and match with different like types of makeup. So like you have different bronzers and different blushes, different eyeshadow. And so sometimes when I get something where I look at it and it just goes on forever, I'm like, I'm gonna be like 80 years old and still using this. And by that time, it's probably gonna smell pretty weird. Let's be honest. Bronzer. Maybe it's because I only have like 2 bronzers, and it's one is a powder and one's a cream, and the powder one is real orange. You know, I've kind of appreciated a bronzer. I think I didn't like it at first, bronzer in general, because I wasn't putting it in the right spot on my face. Like, I was putting it almost where I put highlighter, and I'm like, I look funky with this on. But I think I figured out how to put it on. And so, it's not quite as weird. No, we gotta go with the hairline. Well, so I'm not sure if I'm actually putting it on in the right place. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, I don't have the attention span to watch actual beauty tutorials, because after a point, I'm like, don't tell me what to do.
I got this.
I got this, guys. I got this.
Well,
yeah. Now, what type of blush do I want? Do I want my... I think I'm gonna go with mango. Also, it probably looks like I don't have that much makeup products, but I have so much. I literally have bags underneath my table of just more makeup. Anyway, this is my little milk stick. I was so excited to get this when I got it. I'm like, I'm gonna be so trendy like all the girlies. And it's a nice cream blush, I think. It's very subtle, but I think sometimes it's nice to have a subtle blush. I like peach blushes. They're kind of just my everyday. All right, so now that I got my cream products on, I like to put on my sandy powder. Wonder how that's gonna sound when I listen back to it. We'll see if things like this actually get put on the internet. I'm also really trying hard to look at the camera on my phone and not like at myself. But I'm sorry if that happens because I like to look at myself sometimes. My setting powder, it's up, what's it called? I don't know. I'll look at the packaging once I put it on. I know it's by Terry. By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. I don't really know what it means by Hydra Powder, but it's a nice translucent. It's my highlighter. It's my first highlighter I ever got. Damn, that would have been like 4 years ago. This is an old highlighter. I don't think it's that great of a highlighter, but I'm trying to use it up to the point where it like cracks and like shatters. And then I'm not gonna feel bad throwing it away. Who knows? I can't bring myself to throw it away, even though I feel like I can barely see it on me when I put it on. It's kind of nice. It's like more of a subtle highlighter. You know, again, I don't want the middle schoolers making fun of me, even though I don't really care because they're gonna make fun of me anyway. All right, what do I do next? I want my eyeshadow. So I have a very specific way that I've picked my eyeshadow that I go for, because I have like, I probably have no less than like 40 palettes. And I don't have that time to actually like go through and like figure out which one I actually want to do. So I kind of do like a roll for eyeshadow thing where I've randomized which one of my like specific eyeshadows I'm gonna focus on. But I think I've decided I don't really care about hitting pan on it. I more so care about just using it. So I keep a tally mark right next to where my makeup is. And once I hit 15, that's gonna be like my sign of saying, moving on with it. There's one I need to like re-roll and re-pick, but I've been too lazy. So anyway, that's why I'm using singles right now, because one of the things that I rolled was singles. It was one of my singles, and I usually like to just stick with one palette. So when I roll singles, I just kind of stick with a couple other singles. So I picked out some others that like, went with it. Anyway, this is my first eyeshadow I ever got. Look how cute it is. It's a Nomad shade, and it's super neutral, so I'm just using that to put all over my eyelid. So that's my Nomad. Why did I put my, and then I think this is the thing I rolled in. I can't remember if it's the matte or the shimmer that I rolled, so I just used both. It's by Shanna Beat Miami, which honestly is just like it's like a subscription box brand, honestly. So this is what I'm gonna use to darken my eyelid, or whatever it's called, darken the crease. Put in the corner. It's the Balm eyeshadow. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's an old reliable. I don't know what you're thinking. Wow, she looks crazy right now. And I do. But I'm gonna blend it. Don't worry. I'm gonna go in with the shimmer. All Right, so anyway, what am I gonna do as an influencer? You
Might be asking.
and that is a good question.
Um,
Mainly what I'm gonna do is try to monetize my hobbies.
my hobbies.
Because I have a lot of them and they're very niche.
Niche.
And I think that if I put the effort into it, I could create a small but fervent cult with my hobbies. Fervent cult. Because I have something called the no chill gene. When I do stuff, I have no chill with it. But also at the same time, it's like I'm either the most type B, type A person you've ever met, or I'm the most type A, type B person you've ever met. Like, you might be asking, like, what do you mean? And usually whenever I have a hobby, my first thought is, I'm gonna create a spreadsheet.
I'm gonna create a spreadsheet.
I guess that's, like, the best way to describe what I mean. So I have, like, a lot of spreadsheets that go along with my hobbies. And so then I start to get pretty intense with them. It'll be like video games, and by video games, I mean like The Sims. I love reality TV. I like makeup, reading, I do crochet.
And just a lot of other random things.
That I think that if I put on the internet, I could gain a small cult from. Fervent cult. Not gonna lie. And frankly, if I found myself on YouTube, I would be obsessed with myself.
Obsessed with myself.
Like, I would watch all my content. I had a really weird dream last night. Honestly, I've never tried talking while I make a wing, and I think this is like the worst set of wigs I've ever made.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway. My dream. It involved, like, no one I actually knew, but basically it was like the story of, this girl who was dating this guy, and then he tried, like, either eating her or just like eating other people, like he was a cannibal. So then he got put in jail. So then she fell in love with his best friend, and then he got out of jail and was like super jealous, but like they were in love. And like he was trying to like manipulate her back to him, and then ended with a plot to eat him. So it ended with like her biting his face off. I don't normally have dreams like that. I'm not gonna lie. And then my dream switched over and I was me. And I was getting a retainer put in.
I was the queen of it, retainers.
Anyway, this is my Tarte mascara. It's Lights Camera Actions. It's a good all reliable mascara. I have tons of unopened mascara, but that's because it's probably the one thing I go through the most, so I don't mind getting a lot of it. How long am I going? It's probably like 7:15. Alright, now I do my eyebrows, which really just looks like I'm not doing anything to them, but I just like to make them a little bit darker. But I don't like to make them too dark because I got like, the first time I ever got like an eyebrow pencil. And when I say this, like, I did not get into makeup until like COVID. So I was like 22 at the time and had never really used makeup before besides like mascara and some concealer. And I got my first eyebrow pencil, and I think I'd gotten like a brown version. I thought like, oh, it'll be fine. My eyebrows are kind of darker than my hair color anyway. And I look back on photos of myself and I look crazy. So it's a lot better when I get the ash blonde, obviously, because, you know, that's my actual hair color. And I use an eyebrow gel, even though like it feels like this does nothing. Because my first eyebrow gel ever was the ABH one, and that sticks your eyebrows. That sticks the landing. Alright, now time to put on my lips. Which is probably just gonna be lip gloss. Because that's all I really like to do. I have so much lip product. Only to realize like I really only like to put like lip gloss on right in the morning, and then I never do anything with it. So this is just a clear lip gloss. It's by Complex Culture, which is an Ipsy brand. Like quite literally Ipsy made it. And then I'm gonna put on some setting spray. Not that I do think it does anything. Anyway, thank you for coming to my get ready with me. I hope you think I look beautiful. Now to put on my glasses so that you know what I actually look like, because let's be real, this covers up half of my makeup. So thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy my influencer journey that I'm gonna have.
Influencer.
And I'll show you all of my makeup products. I have a lot, and I'm kind of a hoarder. And I don't like to get rid of things. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna have a lot of fun seeing all the things that I do. My hair looks really frizzy, and it's always really frizzy. But again, the middle schoolers are just gonna make fun of me anyway, so I might as well be at peace with that. Anyway, bye.